Today's topic is Z transform. The objectives of today's topic are: the first objective is to define Z transform, and the second objective is to solve problems on Z transform. So we'll start with definition of the Z transform. Definition. Just see, this Z transform is basically used for analysis of discrete time signals and systems. In previous sessions, we have seen Laplace transform and continuous time Fourier transforms. Those transforms were used in analysis of signals and systems related to continuous time, that is CT signals. One more transform that we have already seen, that is discrete time Fourier transform. So discrete time Fourier transform is used for analysis of DT signals and system. Likewise, Z transform is also used for analysis of discrete time signals and systems. Now, it is represented by xz, that is equals to, as it is handling the DT signal, so instead of integration, summation will be there. So summation n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity xn into z raised to minus n. Very simple definition is there. So this transform is used for analysis of DT signals and system. So z is again the complex quantity, like S we have seen in the Laplace transform. So z is equals to a complex quantity. So it can be represented as u plus, suppose for example, jv, or that is equals to in polar form or into e raised to j omega. Okay, where real part of z, real part, because it is the complex quantity, real part of z, that is equals to magnitude z, that is equals to r. Let it be equation number 2 for example. So this is r is indicating the real part of z, r, that is equals to magnitude of real part square, that is u square plus v square. So this quantity is the complex, so real part square plus imaginary part square, that is the real part, or you can say the magnitude of z. Okay, then this you can say that is magnitude part of z, magnitude part of z, that is magnitude of z, that is equals to this value. Basically, that is the real part, it is indicating r is equal to square root of u square plus u v square. Then this omega is indicating the angle. So angle of z, so it is represented, so this is magnitude of z, this is angle of z, that is equals to tan inverse of imaginary part, that is v, real part is equals to u, that is equals to omega, as per the equation number 2. So magnitude of z and angle of z. So angle of z is varying from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so this is nothing but this is the circle actually. So z plane, if you try to represent, so it will be the circle like this. wherein this is the imaginary part of z, in this case JV, and this is the real part of z. It is the real z. Here u, and this is radius r. This is radius. This is 0. Okay. So 0 to 2 pi. So that is the actually z plane, and you can call it as z plane. Okay. Next, the relationship of z transform with dt of t, discrete time Fourier transform. So it is very simple relationship, as z transform is indicating the analysis of signals and system of dt signal. Again, dt of t is representing the analysis of signals and system of discrete time signals. Then exact when z is going to be replaced by e raised to j omega is nothing but x of e raised to j omega. So this is equals to dt of t, discrete time Fourier transform. Now let rewrite equation number 1, xz, that is z transform, summation n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, x of n, that is the dt signal, z raised to minus n, let it be equation number 3, and xz at z is equals to e raised to j omega. So that is equals to x of e raised to j omega, because z is replaced with e raised to j omega, that is summation n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity, as it is xn, z is replaced with e raised to j omega and minus n multiplied by minus n. This is equation number 4, and this is nothing but dt of t, discrete time Fourier transform. So this is the relationship between the dt of t and z transform, right? Then next, with this simple definition, we'll start solving the simple problems with the z transform. Okay. Then before that, I want to talk regarding ROC, that is region of convergence. Region of convergence. Okay. So what is again region of convergence? We have seen in Laplace transform, dt of t, everywhere that we have seen in the transform domain. So what is ROC? So ROC again in the z transform is nothing but it is the range of values of z for which xz is convergence. Okay. So I can write range of values of z for which z transform is convergent. Convergent means what? Finite. Z transform is convergent means finite. Okay. So this is the ROC, region of convergence. With this definition and ROC knowledge, we'll start with example number 1. And example number 1 is xn is equals to a raised to n into u of n given, then find z transform. Okay. So xn is equals to a raised to n into u of n is given, and we have to find out the Z transform of it. So we start writing the equation of the Z transform. Xz is equals to summation n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into Z raised to minus n. Now x of n is given, that is equals to a raised to n into u of n. Put the value of x of n. Xz is equals to summation n is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity e raised to n into u of n into Z raised to minus n. So from this summation we can remove this un by changing the limit. As we know, un, that is unit step signal, is equals to 1 for the values of n greater than or equals to 0. It is equals to 0 elsewhere. Means summation is going to be changed, that is equals to summation n is equals to 0 to infinity e raised to n into Z raised to minus n. So un is removed, that is equals to summation n is equals to 0 to infinity a Z raised to minus 1 raised to n. So I have put it into the geometric series. Let it be alpha. So we know this is the geometric series. Since summation n is equals to 0 to infinity alpha raised to n is equals to 1 divided by 1 minus alpha, provided that alpha should be less than 1. So then and then you can apply this geometric progression GP. Okay, so this is applicable to this. So this is alpha. So x of z we can write, that is equals to 1 divided by 1 minus a Z raised to minus 1. So this quantity is alpha. So this should be less than 1. Then and then it is going to be valid. Hence we can write ROC, that is region of convergence. That means this is going to be valid when a into Z raised to minus 1, that is alpha, should be less than 1. So alpha should be less than 1. So ROC is equals to a Z raised to minus 1, that should be less than 1. Means what? A by Z should be less than 1. Means what? Magnitude of A is less than magnitude of Z. So just I move this Z to this side. So you can rewriting this as magnitude of Z is greater than magnitude of A. So this is how to find out ROC, region of convergence. So basically this is the right-handed infinite sequence, because u of n 0 to infinity e raised to n multiplied by un means what? Right-handed infinite sequence. So in this case ROC is magnitude of Z is greater than magnitude of A. Okay, so this can be further simplified as like this: x of Z is equals to 1 divided by 1 minus a Z raised to minus 1, that is equals to 1 divided by 1 minus a by Z, that is equals to Z divided by Z minus a. This is xz. So you can put in this way or in this way, Z divided by Z minus a, with ROC is equals to magnitude of Z greater than magnitude of A. So you can draw the ROC like this. So this is the real part of Z. This is the imaginary part of Z. So we have seen Z plane is nothing but it is the circle. Now in this case radius is equals to magnitude A, so this is the radius, this is magnitude A, so this is the circle of magnitude A. And what is ROC? ROC is magnitude of Z. So this is Z plane, entire Z plane. So it should be greater than magnitude of A. So this is the outside the circle. So ROC is outside the circle. This is region of convergence. Okay, so this is for right-handed infinite duration right-handed sequence. Okay, so this is the ROC and this is the Z transform of xn is equals to a raised to n into u of n. Thank you.